I'm Mama Kai. Quetzal and the Cool School. I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart. Moving to a new neighborhood is not easy, but Max got used to the new house and he met new friends. It wasn't until he had to go to a new school that he decided to hide. "What are you doing in there?" asked Max's big sister, Emmy. "I don't want to go to school," Max cried as he imagined terrible things. Maybe his teachers would ask him to count to 30 or stand on one leg. "I bet you'd feel better if you could practice going to a new school," Emmy said with a grin. "Let's go visit Quetzal and the others." You see, Max and Emmy had very special new friends. Dragon friends. Whenever they wanted to visit Quetzal and the other dragons, they took their magic dragon scale from its hiding box and then said this rhyme: I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart." In a swirl of light, Emmy and Max arrived in Dragonland. They surprised their friends Zack and Wheezy, who were practicing their swooping and dives. "What's up?" said Zack as he and Wheezy landed with a crash. "We'd like to see your school," Emmy said. "Love it!" Wheezy cried. "Come on, let's go to Quetzal's school in the sky." Amy marched up to Quetzal and asked if she and Max could go to school with the dragons. "Max is scared to go to school," Emmy whispered to the wise old dragon. "That's why he wants to practice here." "Está bien. That's a good idea," Quetzal whispered back. Then he clapped his claws to get his students' attentions. "And now we'll start our day with fire breathing time." "Fire breathing?" Max cried. "I don't know how to breathe fire." "Me either," said Emmy, "but I'm going to try." She huffed and puffed, but only made a silly noise. The dragons giggled playfully, so Max was afraid even to try. "I told you, a new school would be too hard," he shouted. I'll never ever breathe fire like a dragon," Max told Quetzal, "because I'm not a dragon. I'm just a boy." "Perhaps you can breathe fire like a boy then," Quetzal said kindly. "When you're stuck, Nino, don't give up. Try something new." While Max and Emmy thought about what he said, Quetzal invited the two inside. He offered them some salty chips and his super spicy red salsa. Quetzal's very hot salsa gave Emmy an idea. "Watch me breathe fire," Emmy called. Outside, all the dragons crowded around to see. Amy took a big gulp of Quetzal's salsa and breathed out red hot bursts of steam. "That's not fire breath," Max muttered. "I know," said Emmy. "It's fiery salsa breath. Try it. Max wasn't sure it would work for him, but he swallowed a big mouthful of salsa and suddenly, whoosh! His cheeks turned red and a big cloud of spicy hot steam came out of his mouth. I did it, Max yelled. Advice worked. When you're stuck, don't give up. Try something new. Next, it was flying time, and Max was convinced school was too hard all over again. We can't fly like that, Max sighed, watching his friends Ord and Cassie soar in the air. I know, Emmy laughed, but we can pretend. So Max and Emmy climbed on the dragon's swing set, and back and forth they flew, with their toes pointed up at the sky. Finally, they jumped through the air. And tumbled into Ord's big waiting arms. Hey, I can fly, cried Max with a dragon-sized smile. School is great, Max said to Ord. Later, as they built the biggest block tower ever, the tower gleamed because the blocks were made of real treasures, sparkling rectangles of gold, red triangle-shaped rubies, and glowing pearl circles. And the best part of building a tower, Max laughed, is knocking it down. Soon the school day was almost over, and it was time to put away the blocks. Yellow rectangles of gold go in that treasure chest. Red rubies triangles go in another one, Quetzal told Max, and pearl circles go a key. Slam dunk for air, Max, Max shouted as he tossed a pearl into the chest. Just then, Zack and Wheezy knocked 3 buckets of paint into the blocks by accident. Splash! The gold rectangles, red ruby triangles, and white pearl circles were all covered with bright orange paint. It was a dragon-sized disaster. The paint dried in the blink of a dragon's eye. They're all the same color, Zack wailed. There's no way to tell them apart. How will we know which blocks go where? If you're stuck, don't give up. Try something new, Max said, remembering what Quetzal had taught him. We can put the blocks away by their shape. Circles for pearls, rectangle for gold, triangle for rubies. Soon all the blocks were back in their chests. You are sure smart, little buddy, Ord cheered as he hugged Max. School wasn't so scary, Max thought. In fact, school was really fun. Max and Emmy thanked Quetzal and began chanting their rhyme to go home. Maybe someday you could come to our school, called Max just before they vanished from sight. Back at home, Max grabbed his new backpack. Now I am all ready to go to the new school. You're not scared anymore? Emmy asked. Not even a little. Well, maybe a little. But now I know what to do, Max said as he remembered Quetzal's advice. When you're stuck, don't give up. Try something new. Now let's go. The end.